están llevando el coche. La madre.
Se han chocado entre ellos. Yo creo que salió el equipo de 7.
In the second tune of a torrential rain pounded down on the town of Vilafranca del Presidente in Catalonia, Spain, caused severe flooding that left streets underwater and forced dozens of families of their homes. In just few hours, more than 100 mm of rain, well more than average monthly rainfall, overwhelmed local drainage system and caused chaos. Emergency services were quickly deployed with the firefighters and civil protection unit evacuation residents from flooded homes and stranded cars. No deaths were reported, but several people required medical attention for minor injuries and shock. One president, Maria Cyril, described the moment and water just into his home. I can like a river. In a matter of minutes, my kitchen was underwater. There were never seen anything like that. The flooding affecting key infrastructure, power lines and transport networks. Train service between Vilafranca and Barcelona was suspended for several hours, and several region roads remain closed due to landslides and debris. Meteorologists attributed the flooding an isolated low-pressure system over northeastern Spain and phenomenon that becoming increasingly common due to climate change. Authorities are urged vigilant to use storms and forecasts for the region this week. Catalonia President Pierre Aragonès visited to the area promised by support. We stand in solidarity with the residents of Vilafranca. Recovery efforts are ongoing and we will provide all necessary assistance. Now that the water is slowly receding to community faces and daunting tasks to clean up and recovery. For many days, flood is not just a natural disaster, but wake up call about increasing impact of extreme weather events. Spain has been hit by yet another bad extreme weather as a torrential rain triggered flash floods across several regions, including parts of the Catalonia, Valencia and Aragon. Among the hardest hit it was Valencia. More than 100 mm of rain fell in 1 hour, overwhelmed drainage system and transformed peaceful streets into rivers and mountain debris. Footage shared on social media showed cars flowing down Roman roads, basements inundated and our residents escaped through the windows. Emergency service worked throughout the night using boats and helicopters to rescue families trapped in their homes. One local resident, Maria Sofer, recounted, "We've seen storms before, but never like this. It was fine opening up. Within a minute, the water was waist deep, wind outside. Across the airport areas, power outage, transport disruption and school closures were widespread. In Vilafranca, rail service to Barcelona were suspended and several regions' roads were closed due to landslides and fallen trees." Meteorologists blaming slow-moving cut-off low-pressure system, a phenomenon growing more than frequent with the climate change. Spain National Weather Agency was issued for the warning as more storms are expected in the coming days. In a statement, Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez expressed solidarity with the victims. "We are monitoring the situation closely and will provide all necessary resources to affected communities. As the rain moving on, residents and left facing the painful aftermath, destroyed homes, lost possessions and haunted memories, storms they never concern." The flooding has left inclusion several minor roads and a carriageway leading the Zaragoza, causing significant traffic delays and making some areas completely inaccessible. Public transportation have also been severely affected, with the buses and trams unable to operate in the most affected areas. Authorities have issued a warning to residents, advising them to stay at home and avoid unnecessary travel. Emergency services are working around the clock to respond for calls to help, and firefighters to rescue teams and using boats to reach those stuck in their homes. The Red Cross and other humanitarian organizations have stepped temporarily shelters to those who have been displaced by the flood. The situation also raising concerns about the possibility to further flooding, and a weather forecast predict to rain in the coming days. The Ebro River, which flows throughout the Zaragoza, is being closely monitoring the further rising water levels. Local authority urged residents in low-lying area in prepare to possible evacuation. The historic center of Zaragoza, come to such a landmark on the Balsica, has so far escaped the most affected in the floods. However, there are the fears continued rainfall could threaten during these culture treacherous.
Rapaziada, tornado. É tornado, louco. Minha Nossa Senhora, tá voando tudo as teias. Tá feio.
The Spain government has pledged support to affected regions, and Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has said to rescue with the allocated to help with recovery efforts. With the flooding in Zaragoza and parts of a border pattern of extreme weather events have been hit with through parts of Spain in the recent month, including severe drought and wildfires. At Zaragoza begin, airdrops work to damage assessment and reconstruction. The flood severe stock reminding of the vulnerability urban area of extreme weather. These events have sparked discussions among the political and environmental about the need to improve the infrastructure and climate resilience of Spanish cities. Meanwhile, the people of Zaragoza are forced to deal with the immediate problems caused by the floods, happening in the respite from the increasing rain and quick return to normal life.